Happy Wednesday to you, and welcome to another edition of the uh, never duplicated uh, virtual happy hour. Glad you guys are along on a Wednesday. Let's roll the open. Let's get this thing going. I got it ready to go. I hope I got it ready to go. Let's roll in three, two, one. Yes, it's Wednesday, the Wednesday edition, and here in the studio in the office for Wednesday. Was going to go out in the patio. It's a beautiful day here. It's gosh, what is the exact thermometer reading at the top of the hour at a DFW, the biggest airport in the world? Let's see, what is it? It is 84 wonderful degrees in the metropolitan Dallas Fort Worth area. And by my liking, the best metropolitan area in this United States of America, ain't no doubt. But maybe some arguments may be held other parts of the world. Speaking of other parts of the world, off the top, she snuck in during the opening numbers here. Let me bring this down here. And Mom's trying to be sneaky, but I do see you guys in the waiting room, so it's not like you're going to totally shock me. But Connie is with my mom. My mom and Connie are hanging out. What are you guys doing?
We're hanging out, and
we're not socially distanced, but at this
Why aren't you guys out in the garage in like your card table and your two chairs?
It's cold.
Well, and besides, we sat next to each other last night at dinner, so I mean, come on.
Yeah, if you got it, you got. If you guys got it, you both got it. So, man.
Well, I've already been tested, so and Mom's going. Oh no, you're not going to be, are you?
No, I haven't. I don't have any symptoms, so there you go.
Well, you have symptoms, but none of that.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
No, but we are here drinking our wine.
Yeah, when I was up there a few weeks ago, I saw the whole setup out in the garage there, and you guys have like a little party area of some sort.
We have a party area, but Danny, I heard you say that it was 84 there. It is colder than cold here.
Yeah, I saw today that there was a front going across the Midwest, and yikes, it doesn't look like it's very warm up that way. It's supposed to be even snowing in some parts of that part. I don't know about you guys, but it's supposed to be kind of really in the Midwest, some snow even. So yikes.
Upper Midwest, yes.
Yeah. The upper Midwest, yeah.
Well, we have a couple more days of decent, and then after Friday, the bottom falls out, and then we're done.
I think the long term here. I think I saw this afternoon. I was at school today, so let me see what the DFW long term is, and if the weather's on here in about 15 minutes, I'm going to watch it. I thought the 10-day called for a chilly front for us next week, but it looks like we're actually going to have a low of 48 overnight on Sunday. And look at us. We're going to get
our world.
We're going to be 50 next Tuesday, 50 degrees and 41 for the low. That's going to make working out in the morning very difficult. So
yeah.
Well, how about that? So there goes the cold and flu season. What's that? Go ahead.
I'm sorry I missed you when you were here, Danny. I didn't know you were coming.
Well, nobody.
Yes. Well, it was. That was the thing. I actually was telling somebody that today that I pulled the surprise on Mom, and I was just worried that the more I told, the more it had a chance. So because I almost thought about having Sam tell all of Mom's friends to get to the Artisan that evening at 5:00, but then I was just like, well, that's a lot of work for Sam to do. It's a lot of work for. I'm like, he's a busy fella. He didn't need to mess with my nonsense, so we had to do it that way.
I could have helped and would have been happy to, but I'm just sorry that I missed you. I know your mom loved having you here.
Yeah, we had a good time. I was actually sharing that with my old high school football coach's wife today. How I'd surprised Mom and all that. It was good because it was just a short trip. That's the only bad thing. And if I can get this to come off the screen here, sorry about that, guys. trying to get this screen to work here. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. But yeah, it was just a quick trip. We missed you though.
Well,
It's not the
thank you. I
same.
certainly
Not the
missed you. I
same.
was so upset when I found out that you'd been here and I didn't get to see you. So when are you coming back?
Oh gosh, we haven't really gotten that. We've toured the idea. We haven't really made any plans yet. We're kind of, I don't know. We're not. We haven't really. We need to get Caroline up there for a couple of days. She'd like to go anywhere right now after her semester. So maybe I don't know. We're looking at it. We're making some plans. I don't still know what we're gonna do. Trying to
I
get
hope
mom down
so.
here for the holiday.
I hope so. Yeah, she said you're gonna have the big 8-0.
Trying to. I know she talked to my brother and we were talking about it. It's so hard. And I was talking to my friend of mine in Australia this morning, Paul Morgan. I mean, he and his wife have been. I mean, not that they're. I mean, they're not in a house arrest, but they're stuck in Western Australia, and she's got family in North America, and they were hoping to come over here, and they can't even leave their state. And I'm thinking, boy, can you imagine us not being able to leave our state? But it's just been so hard to get everybody on the same page with all
It
all
certainly.
this COVID thing. So,
Well,
but,
the holiday season coming up should be interesting.
yes, that's what everybody keeps saying. And although, I mean, we sort of, I mean, I shouldn't say sort of, but I mean, we're now, what, 8 weeks past Labor Day. And I mean, we had the spike, but I don't know. It's just a weird time. It's just a weird time, Connie. And like I said here, and like I've told mom a bunch of times, it's still weird.
It's weird.
And going to school today, and the kids are all in masks. It's still a bizarre. I mean, I was walking out today, going to the car, and it was a young lady talking to her friends in a group, and she was unmasked, and her friends were masked. One of the assistant principals like, "Hey, put your mask on," one of those things. So it's just a weird deal, and it's like a weird, strange dream. But
it's like
maybe
we're in a dystopian novel. I mean,
yes.
I just don't like any of it. I'm over it. But anyway, no, your mom and I always socially distanced all summer in the garage. But here we are, 2 feet apart.
Yeah,
so it was so good to talk to you and see you. And I'm sorry I missed you, but for sure the next time when you come. So here's Mama.
All right, thank you, Connie. That's our dear friend Connie right there, and Mom's right there. Connie, I'm trying to think. When did we meet? Or I met him after you guys met him. But what would that be? About what? 30 years? 25?
Us?
Yes.
Yeah.
About 25 years.
No longer than that.
Well, we've only been here 30 years.
Well, then
yeah, but you met them
years.
shortly after getting up there, and
yeah, shortly after.
Yeah.
Erin was a freshman.
Yes, she was a year behind.
Michelle was a sophomore.
Yes.
She was a year behind Michelle, right? If I remember correctly.
Yes.
Because
she and I both started cheerleading, and her ex and my ex were working out together at the Y, and they discovered their wives were both doing cheerleading. So that would have been the fall of the year that Michelle was a sophomore, and we'd been here 4 years. So that's about 1994.
Yeah, okay. That makes
sense.
We've
been hanging out for quite a while. We have consumed a lot of wine during that
Yes. Most of Italy, I would imagine.
Well, give my love to Gay Marie.
I will. I'm up here today because I was going to go on the patio. It's so nice, but she's actually got a young student downstairs who would probably be distracted by me out there yelling on the patio. So I'm just up in the studio up here, or what do you want to call this place? But I will. She'll be very happy to hear, and she's probably watching this on replay. So
I hope so.
She will be.
Hi, Gay Marie. Miss you. I hope to see you soon, Danny.
Yes, I hope to see you too. It's always a pleasure. The surprise is always nice. I'm sorry I missed you guys, or missed you when we went up there.
Yeah, me too.
Or when I went up there a couple weeks ago. But
well,
what are y'all doing, Mom? What's going on? You guys just inside keeping cool?
Well, I got up. We're just sitting in the living room. We were socially distanced until you got on.
Yeah.
All right.
And we were drinking a glass of wine. And
do what you got to do.
I was up at 6 this morning because I had a board meeting at 7:30. So I actually got dressed. I haven't had my pajamas on all day.
5 our time, so I was up at 5:55, a little later than 30 minutes late today, but
yeah.
Well, the thing is, today, Gabriel and I we did a shorter walk this morning, about 40 minutes. I bet Monday, Tuesday, I did an hour each at 5:30, and then or 5:40, and then today we went by right before 6 and did 40 minutes with the dog, and then race off because I've been at school all week, and I'll be at school tomorrow and Friday, and then
Good.
Monday, Tuesday, and picked up Wednesday next week. So I'm this not a
You're doing a lot of substituting.
yeah, but this schedule is not for me. It's not something I can do long term. I can do it in spurts, but I don't know how Gay Marie and my brother and Stephanie and others do this whole 9 to 5 or what do you want to call it. That was never built for me. I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but yeah. But the thing is, I can't get up. I can't. I don't want to come back from school. Although the weather's nice, I don't want to come back from school and have to be dreading about my workout. So I try to get it done before I go. Plus, I've found that I've been at least the first half of the day. I'm not nearly as tired now. Granted, late in the day, I'm kind of dragging, but at least during the early part of the day. So all good. But anyway.
Okay, I'm going to move away.
All right. Love you, Mom. Be good.
Love you too.
There we go. Nice little surprise there. Appreciate it. There we go. Mom and Connie Cam there up in Indiana. Again, Connie is been a friend of her. Connie has been a friend of our family, and I was going to say, well, her mom was talking about their exes. Of course, my father no longer with us. Her ex is still a dear, dear friend of the family too, and they're still friends and all that. So anyway, it's a very, very. It's the closest thing. They're the closest thing to family, but not being family. Does that make sense? I mean, that's exactly what Connie is. So anyway, good to see Kevin out there. Kevin says, and I saw this again. I just happened to look down at the weather online and just saw that, there was some cold stuff coming to the Midwest, and I noticed we already had a little snow in the foothills and the Rockies already a couple weeks ago. But I did see there was and we get a quote unquote cold front, which means we've been down in the 70s, which has been great. But we expect to get a little cool next Tuesday, Wednesday, but apparently it's already up there. Kevin says we have complete snow cover up here in Minnesota Union. Very funny. Mom would like this. We are selling wine of Advent calendars started. Hey, how about that? Advent calendars for wine November 4th, Mom. She's all in on that, I guarantee you. Let's see if I can get the chat up. Hope you guys are doing well while I kind of freelance here. Anyway, there we go. Again, not a lot going on here. Again, it's kind of cool. I talked about this on Wednesday or on Monday rather. I'm substituting for my high school football coach. And it's funny how it comes full circle. I can't imagine in any world, past, present, future, where I ever imagined that I would be substitute teaching many, many years down the road at my high school for the guy who I looked up to and appreciate his guidance, my high school football coach. And what's even funnier is that another one of the coaches is the principal of the high school. So he was when he was there, he would have been his third or fourth year out of school, and it was his second stop teaching, I believe. After graduating, went to Baylor, this principal, and then he was, I guess, went to school, taught at one of the schools in Dallas, and came to our school. And then my coach relocated from Arkansas in 83, or 83, 84 school year. And he and his wife both still are on faculty at Trinity Christian, where I went to school. It's in Addison, which is a suburb, the very edge of Dallas County, almost into Collin/Denton County. I guess Collin County is just a few blocks away, and it's just short of where, maybe 2 miles south of where the girls, Joy Wall and Caroline, went to Prince of Peace, another private school rival of theirs, about 2 miles up, and where Gay Marie used to teach back in the day. But TCA is a place I've subbed off and on in the off season, going back. I guess this will be my 4th year to do it there. I think Gay Marie and I have been married 5 years, so it'd been right after that first year. Because actually, the reason and this is a funny story, the reason that I kind of talked to her in the first place. We reconnected. We always connected on Facebook and all that, so always we knew what was going on, and we've been to reunions and things like that. But the reason I sort of met with her in the first place is to kind of get the lay of the land on substituting. I didn't know anything about substitute teaching. I didn't know anything about how to go about it. I knew there are different rules in different districts and state schools and private schools and all that. So I just didn't know. And so my original guys was to meet Gay Marie and talk about that. Well, we didn't talk about it. We spent the whole time chatting about other stuff and never even mentioned substitute teachings. I had text her later on and said, "Oh, by the way, uh, what's up with substitute teaching? What can you tell me?" Because I knew, and she at the time had been, I mean, she's been teaching early 90s. I mean, it would have been, I think she did her student teaching there in Philadelphia back in the early 90s. Of course, she's got her grad school work over the years, got her master's and got her doctorate and all that. So, are going to the doctorate program now at SMU. So, she's been involved in school for quite a while. She's taught Philadelphia, Tennessee, and of course, all of the Metroplex over the years. But she's been at St. Mark's, which is a highly regarded, one of the top boys' schools in all the country. Just a few minutes in the house, and then uh, Dallas is a very interesting way the schools go here, and Dallas Fort Worth in general, because of the flight of the suburbs. Uh, Starting in the 70s, uh, people were beginning to leave the city and we're going to the suburbs. And the inner city schools, when I say inner city, I don't mean by the bad schools. I mean the city district, Dallas School District, the Fort Worth School District, Houston, any major city, Chicago. A lot of those school districts suffered. A lot of people moved to the suburbs. Most of the time, those suburban districts were pretty good. And if you watch Monday Night Football, you saw Kyler Murray, who just tore the Cowboys up. He's a product of a very good school system in Allen, Texas, which when I was a kid, Allen was a small 2A town. Now it's the largest school district or largest classification. It has its own 25,000 seat stadium. And you probably Google Allen football, Allen, Texas football. You'll see what I'm talking about. Joy Ball was there for 1 year, played the band there. They got a large band. It's as big as any a major college band. I mean, it's a big deal. But most of these smaller suburban towns have pretty good schools. Now, in the city limits, it's hit or miss, and so there's a large growth of not just Catholic schools, but Protestant schools and non-church related academic schools. All of them college preparatory schools throughout the South and throughout the larger cities in the South: Houston, Atlanta, Dallas, Fort Worth, both. Oklahoma City, even now. Chicago has got a very large parochial school system up there. It's not, I just use those places as examples. So oftentimes in the city limits of Dallas, and again, this is not a knock. I mean, Hillcrest School is a very good school, which is a public school by our house. But by and large, the private school landscape has grown by leaps and bounds in Dallas Fort Worth. So it's very interesting because when you cross into Collin County, it wasn't that way before. There were no private schools in the suburbs. Now they're starting to go in the suburbs because as folks have gone further north from Plano now, which is kind of was at one time the frontier. Now it's along the frontier. It's considered part of the city area. And now you had to go to Frisco or the suburbs now. And Frisco's got a place that had one high school when I was in high school. Now they got five, and they're building more. And so in general, the suburban districts. So it's interesting to note how that is. And the more I thought about today, when I was driving out to where I went to school today, when I went out there, it was the last stop on the road. I mean, it wasn't nothing north of there. And now you go clear another 5, 8, 10 miles, and you even go further than that now. It's crazy. But I don't know if you've ever had that experience. We've gone back to where you worked before, and maybe the best thing to describe it, I know for me, I've gone back to Gary, where I broadcast for 5 years. That every time I go back, there's some nostalgia there. There's certain way the carpet looks, the place, maybe the fragrance of the place, or just the way familiar faces you've not seen. I don't know if you guys had that same experience. You go back to some place like that. Maybe it's your hometown, the town you're raised in. I mean, maybe that's part of it too. But going back to where you went to high school and being in that same environment with, and the thing about it is for me, uh, there are places where my picture still hangs on the wall in the facilities there, uh, academic facilities, that is, not the, well, one's a sports facility, one's academic. My name's on the wall in the athletic facility. Um, and there's still, for example, I signed in today, and one of the teachers who was subbing along with me, or one of the subs today, was a retired teacher who was there when I was there, and he was actually I actually subbed for him 2 years ago. He retired, but he also substitutes now and then. And I heard a familiar voice of another teacher who was a coach and a teacher when I was there. And then, of course, I mentioned the principal was a high school, was a teacher of mine and was not the principal then. But again, you hear and see, and then also things are different. I mean, the things are a lot different now than when I was in school, obviously. You're always 17 in your hometown. Exactly. What a great song. You're always 17 in your hometown. That's a great jam. That's a good one to Google and download that one. But you're always 17 in your hometown. It's cross Canadian, I believe, right? Good to see you, Lance, out there. But again, I sub at both Prince of Peace and Trinity Christian, but I went to Trinity Christian. So my Prince of Peace feelings are always about the girls, because the girls went there. I always think about my daughters and all the things I went and saw them do, drill team, band, drama, homecoming parades, homecoming games, senior nights, and prom launch parties, and all the things they did. All those things come back to the time when, and especially with Joy Mall, she was a junior senior, was when I first came around. So, I got to experience a lot of the really cool things she did. So my feelings at Prince of Peace are a little different. It's more in, and a lot of the kids that I've seen there, some of them were, when Caroline was a senior, a lot of them were freshmen, 7th and 8th graders as well. So I've seen that group of kids grow and over the last couple of years. It was always fun to substitute as well at Prince of Peace when the girls were in school. I would never tell them. I used to pull this off. I used to tell the girls, hey, I would never tell them I was coming in, and I would leave just after they would. And sure enough, if they had their class, I never told them if I had their class. And I didn't want to ruin the surprise. It was always fun to have and actually substitute and be a teacher for your girls. So that was kind of cool. But at Trinity Christian, where I went to school, it's a different feeling. Now, granted, the school building that I'm in now, that I was in today, tomorrow, is not the one I actually went to school. That was actually when I was there was a field. Now, where I spent last week, a couple of days, that old building, the middle school building, is where my my high school experience was. And it's funny to walk those halls and to realize, well, that was where my locker was. Yeah. When I sign in the middle school is where the old principal's office and headmaster's office was, which I spent many, and that it's not even there anymore. They've reconfigured it, but there's an area of that room where there was a couch outside the door, and then inside the door was the principal's office. And I know that office very, very well. So it's often different kinds of feelings doing this, but it's funny. My observation, I will tell you this. I don't know about the kids of today. Social media, all their devices, all the nonsense they got to put up with. But I'll tell you this from my private school perspective, and I think this is in general anywhere. Kids are resilient, I'll tell you that. And for the most part, except for the one young lady today with her mask off with her mates, and that's just something we all do. We all do that. I mean, my wife and I sometimes get out of the car at the restaurant and forget our mask in the car. It's not a crime, no matter what they tell you. You're not against the rules. Just to forget, you forget, it's like your car keys. But kids are resilient, and I think I give them this, and I've told them this several times. I don't know if a Danny Vaughn circa 1984 could have done the very same thing as a senior, 84, 85. I don't think I could have. I don't think there's any way I would have been able to navigate COVID world and all the things come with it. Let's just say that world would have had social media. I don't know. Maybe I would have been able to make it because we didn't have social media and all that. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm impressed with the kids' resiliency, their ability to follow orders. And yeah, there are times they had their mask down here not over the nose, and they got to be reminded. They had announcements to remind the kids, but for the most part, they're all pretty good. But there are times they put their mask on, let their guard down. But I mean, by the fifth or sixth period of the day, if they've caught it, they probably caught it days ago or weeks ago. I mean, the cases aren't there at school, at least at Trinity Christian and Prince of Peace, they're not. So anyway, some observations, but it's an interesting experience to sit there, especially that I was there once. Now, granted, so many things have changed. I mentioned the building. When I was in school, we had to wear uniforms, and they still do. And I just despised uniforms until I went to Tech. When I got to Lubbock, I missed uniforms because, now granted, first couple of days I wore my shorts. Well, first couple of days I dressed up to class. Then I saw the people were wearing shorts and flip flops or shorts and tennis shoes to school. Now, as pledges, we had to dress up a certain way and wear collared shirts. But by and large, as an adult on campus at Texas Tech, you could wear. I mean, as long as you had a shirt on, a pair of shoes, and a pair of pants, it didn't care what it said. I mean, you just wore whatever. And I had to figure out which Greek letters shirt I was going to wear that day. And so I missed my uniform when I got to Tech because there was times I was like, dang it. Because when I get up every morning, Mom had our stuff, we had our stuff washed, ready to go. I mean, she was manufacturing that laundry all the time. Our uniforms, just grab our slacks, our shirt, our letter jacket, and we're gone. Well, now they can wear shorts. We couldn't wear shorts. We got in trouble when we cut our short pants off, although more on that in a moment. They've got, I believe, 4 different types of shirts they can wear. They can wear any kind of pullover that has a school, TCA soccer, and this is the same at Prince of Peace, cheer, drama, whatever function you're in. I saw a young lady with the yearbook jacket on today. Sweatpants, exactly. I actually had, and Lance, you may know the look I'm talking about. I was baffled that I'd seen these people wearing. Of course, the girls wore the wind shorts at Tech, right? And then the T-shirt. This is circa 80s. And then when it got cold out, you'd wear the warm-ups. We're not talking like joggers you see now. We're talking the old school warm-ups with the elastic around the ankle, and you'd have, if you were a football player, it said Tech football. If you were a Greek, it had the Greek letters on there or whatever, or just nothing on there. And everybody wore those, and there were Texas Tech warm-up pants down the side too, but everybody wore the old school warm-ups to class with the tennis shoes and their sweatshirt. It was basically roll out of bed and put whatever had on, right, to make sure you weren't late. Well, that wasn't the way it was in my high school. We had to get our uniform on. So they've changed things dramatically. And now they're able to, of course, we had to wear, back in my day, penny loafers, loafer type shoes or boots. And one time we didn't have to wear those. We're on dress up days or jeans days. Now, you could always wear a suit as a senior, but no one ever did that unless once in a while we would do it as a group. But you wear your jerseys on Friday even, but even on Fridays we had our slacks. Now, we'd have homecoming and wear jeans and stuff like that. But by and large, now they're able to wear shorts. They got their uniform shirt, then whatever pullover they have for sports they're playing, yearbook, drama, whatever. And the girls wear the slacks or the little skirts. The boys wear shorts or slacks, but no boy wears slacks anymore. They all wear shorts. And they wear tennis shoes. And that's the cool thing. There was one young lady, they had these really cool Converse Chuck Taylors on that were camouflaged. I'm sorry, they were not camouflaged. They were like a print, like an animal skin print. It looked cool. They were really cool. I mean, there's some cool tennis shoes these kids are wearing. So it's funny, but yeah, when I got to Tech, though, I missed the uniforms, and then because I had to figure out what I was going to wear. I thought at first, awesome, I get to wear whatever I want to wear. But you forget how easy it was. So some observations of my substitute days today. You may see the 01 in the corner there. It's actually 2:01. We're getting daggum close to being, November is around the corner. It's the 21st of October. So we're flying right through this thing here. And that's how long we've been doing this show. We've been kind of in this quarantine, not quarantine, but this show began in quarantine and continued post-quarantine when Texas decided to unlock things, or the country has. We're still fighting through it. It's not a normal time, right? So anyway, yeah, sweatpants, boy, I tell you. Anyway, I was going to tell you guys too. One more thing they did. I got in trouble in high school my senior year. Mom will remember the story. I should have had her on for it. Um, my senior year, we decided that we were going to cut off our slacks in the spring semester and wear shorts like the British schoolboy. The British schoolboy look, right? We all want to look like the AC/DC guitarist, right? With that look. We brought our ties and we met at McDonald's around the corner from the school, and we all pulled up, and there was about a dozen of us that started this thing, and a couple of them chickened out, said no, no way. A couple of them cut their pants off and then went ahead and brought extra pants. Well, there was a fearless five of us that decided we're going to cut them off, and we didn't bring any other pants. We just cut them off. That's what we cut off. As a matter of fact, I cut mine off at home, I believe, and wore them. Then I take it back. I think I started cutting them in the car on my drive up, and then we cut them off there. That way we didn't bring a change of pants, so we had to go home. Well, after we got our tails chewed by the headmaster and by the dean of students, pardon me, I remember calling my folks, and mom and dad weren't surprised. Hey, mom, what's going on? I think mom was out doing something, and I called her the house before she left. So I got to come home and get some more clothes, and she kind of chuckled. Well, we were all assigned to go home and get changed. So what we decided to do was to make this day last, because your senioritis is going rampant. It's April. You got a month to graduation. You're just trying to get through it. You want to get the seniors. You want to get to it, right? You're prom time, all that stuff. So we all got in one car, mine, and we loaded up all five of us. And we drove across the Metroplex. And remember, we all lived in different parts of the city. So we went as far down, if you know Dallas Fort Worth, into Lakewood, to Lake Highlands, where I lived, and then up to Richardson, and back across to North Dallas, another stop in North Dallas, and then we back up to Addison. And by the time we did that, we got sent home, say around 9. School started at 8. We got sent home around 9:15 or so. We started making our rounds. We were able to milk it, and it stopped for lunch too at a place called Bubba's there in University Park across from SMU, and great chicken fried steak. And we stopped there by SMU, and then we made it back to campus by about 1:45 or 2, just in time for an hour of study hall, and that was our day. Find out that they do this same drill now, but they do it as a class. The entire class meets, and before they go to school, they cut their uniforms up, sleeves off, pants off, whatever, and the girls cut their sleeves, and they decorate their shirts and tear up their uniforms in the school they're going to go to college in, or whatever school. So if you're going to tech, you'd put tech across it. You'd cut your pants off into shorts. The girls would rip their shirt into something and decorate it and wear crazy hats. They do that now as an official school function. Well, that all began back in 1985 when my group of delinquents decided to do that. So some little thoughts there. Let's see here. I got in trouble. Kevin says, I got in trouble sitting here for turning down an assignment in my journalism class. Fast forward 32 years later, old Kev is creds for the CHS Field Press Box journalism teachers working security across the street. Now that's funny. It's like I kind of wanted to do a remake of Fast Times and where they're at today, who went where. I always love, when they, remember the end of Fast Times at Ridgemont High Classic where they were Spicoli saved Brooke Shields and then gets the money, and he hires Van Halen and he blows it all and hiring Van Halen for the party. Each person's story was told end of Fast Times, but I've always loved them to do a Fast Times because they're doing that Fast Times read. I'd love to do a Fast Times 30 years later. Where's Mr. Hand? Is he no longer with us? What happened to him? What happened to Mr. Vargas? What happened to all the key players? Where are they now? I love that, Kevin. So yeah, it turns out you must have done pretty good, mate, because you're doing journalism, dadgum good journalism, and that's the funny part. I'm sitting there today thinking, where are these kids going to be in 30 years? Where they might be? And I thought a little bit today, I knew that I wasn't going to be a 9-to-5 guy. I just knew that. I didn't know why. I flirted a little bit with being a lawyer, a politician, or an actor. Those were, but I kind of act anyway because I'm my broadcasting is sort of sometimes playing a role, the creative side, but I wanted to be either an athlete and retire and do nothing, or once I was done being an athlete, be in the media. And I thought the media life was going to be the life, the easy life, because I assumed all media folks were rich. Not so fast, my friend, because I found out very early on, after when my first real media job, not the ones I did with the moonlighting jobs for beer money, but the ones I did after graduation, I realized that being in the media only pays if you reach the highest level, like you're anchoring for the nightly news or ESPN or whatever. Now, I mean, that's where you make your big bucks. Your local yokel like myself doesn't make the big bucks, but you do what you do because you love it. And speaking of doing what she does she loves it, and somebody I love dearly. I don't know if she saw this or I don't know if you saw this or I don't know if you heard the conversation, GM,
Which
but Connie said hi, by the way, Connie
yeah.
Hansen. I don't know if you're watching.
I saw
but,
a brief little picture of Connie and your mom on her sofa.
But yes, yeah, but I'm sitting there thinking today, and I didn't want a part of the 9 to 5 world. And Kevin was just saying that he's now a journo, and his high school journalism teacher is security guard. So I mean, how roles have flipped.
That's funny.
But it's funny.
Well, I distinctly remember a young 7th or 8th grade Danny Vaughn telling me on the phone late at night when he would call me, being the good boyfriend that you were when you were a little kid, when we were going steady.
Well, hold on. We didn't have texting back in those days.
We didn't.
And the internet was in its very, very infant stages.
Yeah. So you called me, and I remember one conversation. I remember this very distinctly. That you told me that you wanted to be president of the United States.
I must have been drinking.
And you told me that I would make a really good first lady. So there you go.
Politics did interest me a little bit because I kind of thought those guys are rich too. Problem was
you love history, so that's like a very
the only problem with that was, and with me now, is that I wouldn't pass muster. I mean, when I was DJing, they used to call me the congressman because I was really conservative and all that. I don't think I'd pass muster these days. I mean, because first off, being a politician in this country, they can turn a speeding ticket into a crime against humanity.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I want my everybody that I've ever known to be chastised. Oh, somebody who did this. I mean, I don't want it 6 degrees of separation. Although maybe it's like just the climate we're in. But I always thought the politicians were also folks. I always thought the mayor, the politicians made money. See, my thinking wasn't. I never thought, should I go to school and be smart? That'll make me money. My thinking was, I hate school. I don't want to be smart. So I didn't care to be smart, although it was kind of, I didn't want to be a dunce, but I didn't want to be an A student. I just wanted to get through it. I wasn't motivated. I was motivated by things that I might be able to do. So I thought, well, I can probably BS my way to politics and I definitely BS my way to drama. That was a total fluke, but I did it. I did a good job at it when I've done it in the past. I'd love to do it again. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do a challenge and do a community theater challenge. Let's see if I can get a part.
You should. You totally.
Yeah, maybe I could. I haven't done it in years. I bet I could do it. And then I didn't want to. What you teach your kids is to work hard, bust your tail, make good grades, make decisions, get hired and all that because of your merits. Well, I just want to use my skill set, and maybe it's a different way around. Maybe it's my entrepreneurial spirit. I want my skill set to provide my income. And so I started thinking, well, what's going to make me money? Well, politician, probably actor, sports person, or sportscaster. Those are my choices. And those are all things I thought would be easy bucks. And I guess at one point, maybe even preaching would be easy bucks. But of course, I learned from my granddad that the richest man in town was the preacher and the funeral home operator. So that's what you always used to say. Let's see here. Kevin says, now granted, the journalism teacher is still teaching, and Kevin's punching a time clock to pay his media gig, but let's not tell the truth. Let's not let the truth get in the way of a story. Well, Kevin, those are just semantics. Those are just journalism issues, and the way journalism is today, you can kind of change up as you see fit. That's the beauty of being a journalist now, being your own brand. You can tell your own story and do what you got to do.
Yeah, spin it any way that works.
Yeah, how about that? Good morning, Harold, in Australia today. So yeah, we were having a good chat with that, but it was my the funny thing is, it's like I was saying earlier, sitting at Prince of Peace for the girls when I think more about the daughters, and then sitting at TCA where you and I went, I think more about. And granted, today's a little different because I'm not in the same building. But here's a fun fact: my first period today was photography, which is in the visual arts wing, which was back in the day your elementary school building,
Yep.
and where I didn't begin till seventh grade, but you
Gosh, I
began in.
remember waiting for carpool in the what we call the big room, and the big room's now just a bunch of classrooms.
Yes, and I'm
Eventually,
sitting there today, and I go in I go in the photography lab, which is the arts wing. They've got a whole building of art, which used to be the elementary school. And I'm standing there, and then John Millett, who was a year ahead of us, walks in, and of course, he's masked. I didn't know if he knew who I was, and we all chatted a bit. But thank me for being there because I wasn't subbing for him. But he came in there and go, "Oh, Hank's not here today." I'm like, "No," and we started talking. But it's funny because he was a year ahead of me, and he's still working there.
did
And
you
I'm
tell him
thinking,
who you were?
yeah, I did. He wasn't too impressed, I don't think.
Oh.
I mean, I was kind of a hoodlum, you know this.
You were not a hoodlum.
A little bit. But but it's funny but it's a little different. But then I walked today though. I was walking to get coffee and I went back upstairs and I'm walking and they had the composites all in the main part of the upper school
Yeah.
now. And the older ones are a little faded. And sure enough,
Yours are yellow.
I can still see I'm walking and I'm a good 25 feet away from it. I can still see the composite and faces in the composite that I've known that I went to school with in our class, and of course your sisters and others are all right there. Of course, they have all of them up there.
Yep.
But funny that just to kind of see that, and of course no kids are paying attention. They're not looking up there going, "Who went to school here back in the day?" They're not even paying attention. But I've yet to have one kid go up there and try to find me and say, "Yeah, I saw it in the composite." Be a pretty good bit, but anyway. But all good. Interesting. So what's going on in your world today? You had a little tutoring going. How was that? She seems like a little good kid.
I mean, I'm so exhausted. It was like I don't have when I'm doing writing conferences, I don't have time to like do anything. Yeah, I had a writing conference because we had an emergency meeting after school. I'll tell you about that later. And then so I told him, I said, let me get home. And he was like, let me get home. I said, okay, I'll call you in about 10, because he lives close by as well. I was like, I'll call you the minute I get home. And he's like, okay, on my Microsoft Teams app, so I could share my screen. He could see me grade his paper and we could talk through it. So that's what we did. And while I was finishing up with him, my 4:30 tutoring girl came, but at least now I'm done. So,
Well, good.
yeah.
Good. Well, like I told my mom, I'm not sold in this 9 to 5 nonsense. It is. I don't what I'm going to do
It
if I
wasn't
had.
9 to 5. It's like
Well, but
7 to
still,
3.
it's really it's more like
4.
this 5 a.m. to whatever time thing. I mean, boy, I much rather do my workout about 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning as opposed to 5. Although I do enjoy a walk this morning, but um, uh, I don't know.
The tunnel. I don't.
I'm having some major flashbacks to some more unhappier times in my life. So, not that I'm unhappy, but I'm just saying that I mean, like
Having to get up, you mean, in the morning?
well, the same old every day. That's the beautiful part, and I'm so blessed to do what I do for a living.
Every day, it's the same.
No, I don't. Not in the baseball season. It's different.
Same game notes. It's the same.
No. The game notes, the practice of doing the game notes is the same, but the games are different. The endings are different. How you get there is different. The posts are different.
It's different every day.
Yeah, but the whole, I mean, it's very regimented.
It's the same, but what happens is very different.
And a lot of that's my own fault that I've created that monster as well. But in general, the beautiful part about when you're, especially on the road, I mean, you got a routine you do. There is a routine, but your ultimate goal, yeah, caller and tie gigs. I was just talking about that earlier. Caller and tie gigs. Yeah, I didn't know I didn't know how good I had it till I went to school and didn't have to wear chapel tie. But yeah, collar and tie. Yeah, coat and tie, no doubt. Again, I'm not saying that I don't know. I have ultimate respect for
Although
what
you
teachers.
wear coats and ties to broadcast sometimes.
Yeah, I do. But what you guys do as teachers is incredible, and how you keep students engaged day in and day out would be I think that'd be part of the fun of it. I would think is how you do create that. I'm just not one, and I it's because I was a poor student, and I look back now and realize where I kind of went wrong on that. I look back, I realized that years later. Although I love what I do, and I'm so blessed, and I would be heartbroken not to do it. You know this. It haunts me. It haunts me that if I didn't do what I did, how painful that would be, because I just don't know what I would do. It would be a very painful existence. But yeah, there are certain things because you have to, in my craft, you've got to do things a certain way to prepare for your broadcast. You can't, to be a really good play-by-play guy, you can't cut corners. I can cut corners in this show, so I'm kind of mailing it in on natural ability. But over a course of a 100 and some odd game season, you can't just mail it in on a broad. Now, sometimes you're too tired from an all-night bus ride. You can't prepare like you want to. You got to get through on your memory and your natural wit and will. But by and large, to do my job like you do it, it's like being a teacher. I think you got to prepare, don't you?
Yes, it's exhausting.
Yeah, and so that's the same way. So, random, my preparation may be pretty similar, and I got to listen to what I'm doing, and I got to, I mean, maybe the same regiment, but to be able to do a different social media show every day at lunch, or doing a different ball game, or yeah, we may lose the 5th day in a row, but it may be a different story, maybe the same story. And there's exciting things like sing a new ball part for the first time, or maybe the first time you go to a city for the year, or whatever, sing old mates or whatever. Those are all part and parcel of how blessed I am. So anyway, but sitting there today, I realize just how good you guys are as teachers. I mean, just how good y'all are. You guys rock it.
You're kind.
You guys. So what's going on in your world?
Just work, and we were all a bunch of teachers were just talking about how tired we are. We need a personal day.
Harold, you're right on. That's another thing, Harold, that I'm so blessed. And that's funny you think about that. I was thinking about that today, because it was Milton's birthday. Milton's a mate of ours, from originally from Houston, but lives in Australia. And I met Harold through them and through what I do for a living. And I think we all, to a certain degree, meet people through what we do for a living, but mine so much covers. I mean, it's a map of, here or there. I mean, all over the map, really, all over the globe of places and people I met. 2 different countries, really 3 if you count Canada. Hey, Matt, how you doing, bud?
What do you do, buddy? We were talking about going to get bunnies. You like bunnies?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not doing much good.
Squirrels? Yeah, there was one outside and you wanted to get it, didn't you?
Kevin says, had a guy trying to sell me on his craft beer. He had a dress shirt and a sport coat on. He said, I know I don't look like a craft beer salesman. I use your line, dress for the job you want, not for the beer. Yes, I agree with that. There are some guys in my business, and there are also now a lot of young ladies that do our business too. And which is very cool. Although the subject, although a topic that I'm very happy with because I was with daughters, but there are folks.
Feminist.
What?
And because you're married to a feminist.
Well, yeah, but the point is, you have times where there are broadcasters that I've come across over the years, and over the years, I'm talking over the years, who kind of just throw the t-shirt in the team shirt, or the team shirt and shorts, and you can't tell them from the groundskeeper.
Yeah,
Or they're not wearing socks and they've got shorts on, flip flops. And again, I'm not the fashion police, and I'm not telling them how to do. I just think personally that I feel like I sound better when I look like I'm put together. And as a heavy fella, that's just kind of when you're trying to.
One of the days, that's not going to be your reason.
Well, still a fat kid having to get up at 5 a.m. and jog or walk, whatever. But anyway, I firmly believe that. I mean, you dress sharp, you look sharp, you dress for the job you want. You want to. It doesn't mean I'm going to be a better broadcaster. And believe me, there's been a lot of guys that wear shorts and flip flops that are better broadcasters than I'll ever be. But I just think personally for me, I think it's a good. That's why I have my kids who work with me. They're allowed to work shorts and khakis, but I want them in collared shirts, matching, looking like they. I prefer them to be. I don't want them rolling in a pair of shorts and flip flops and a T-shirt that says KU on it. I want them looking in a T-bone shirt and khaki shorts. I mean, granted, I can't make them dress in slacks and a tie, but I want them to look like that they sort of, represent the brand.
Give a rip.
Yeah, well, that's why teachers don't wear cutoff shorts and muscle shirts. They're not. They're smart of it.
Cutoff shirts and muscle. That would not be a good look on me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Harold, no chance of that. No, don't want to be. Yeah, no nude modeling for me. I'm not going to be I'm not the new David statue model. Okay, don't worry about that. I would.
No one over 25 should be applying for that job.
Unless it's for the Ronald McDonald statue for burgers or something. The Macca's burger statue. That might be me, more like.
Kip's big boy.
What?
Kip's big boy.
There was a kid today in class, and he said, "Man, I was tired. I worked last night." I said, "Really? Well, where do you work?" And he goes, "I work at In-N-Out Burger." I go, "Oh, In-N-Out Burger." He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Oh, that's so cool." I said, "The secret menu." We're talking a little bit. He's small talking. He goes, "Yeah, and I get free burgers and shakes every night." I thought to myself, good. I almost said, "He's a rules." He was a skinny. He was a junior, and so he was a thin fella. And I thought, that'd have been a great job. Yeah, it must be nice. I'm thinking that must be nice. I'm thinking, boy, fast forward about 25 or 30 years, that won't be such a good idea. But I kind of chuckled. He was like, man, he was so excited. I get paid and I get to eat burgers every night. I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty good deal, man. That's pretty good. Pretty good. All right.
Until your triglycerides and cholesterol are off the charts.
Yeah, that is a problem. By the way, doctor, do you know we're gonna get cold next week? It looks like a little bit. Did you know that, man? 50 degrees a week from today. It's gonna be a high of 56.
Sweet.
How about that?
Time to break out the warmer clothes.
Well, the problem is, the dilemma is, and before I let you go, the dilemma is, what do we do about working out at that hour of the morning where it's going to be 40 some odd degrees?
Well, you wear pants anyway. Just wear a sweatshirt.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I guess you're right. All righty.
I worked out. I mean, when I was good about getting out and doing it, I mean, I did it all the way into the 20s. I mean, I just throw on a sweatshirt and go.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess there's a snow somewhere. Yeah, a winter advisory across the Dakotas and the Montanas and Minnesota.
That's where we get that subscription that we could do a workout in the den down here.
Oh, okay. All righty. Well, all good. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to close this thing out here in a second. So,
okay.
All good. But much love, my love. See ya. There we go. WD-40, the lovely and talented wife. The not only is she the better half, she is the best half. Okay, I'm going to try something here. I don't know if this will work. So if it doesn't work, I'll table it till Friday. But I'll give you guys. It may take me today and tomorrow to Friday to do this. Give me just a moment. I did do this today at school. So let me kind of I promised you guys some more of the ballpark experience, and I got to find them here. Give me just a moment here. Okay, I'm going to have to mute this, though, I think. Hold on. Give me just a moment here. Hold on. All right, hold on. Hold on. This is I'm going to give you guys a shot of, this is the wife and me. This is our impressions of the new Globe Life field. So let me do this. Give me just a moment here. Oops. Hold on. Let me try it again. Okay. All right. Why is it not doing what I want to do? Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. I'm going to share the screen, I think. Pardon me, guys. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, let's share the screen. Sorry about that, guys. I should have loaded this on Facebook, and I didn't, but I'm going to go ahead. Here we go. This is the wife and me on Saturday night. This is National League Championship Series. This is game number 6, the Dodgers and Braves at the new Globe Life Field. Now, I'm going to share this on the screen with you guys. And make sure, let's do this. I'm going to roll this. So let me point this down for you guys too. This is my wife and I's impressions of the ballpark. And this is actually going to air a little bit tomorrow night on Talking Baseball Australia Live. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little preview of, well, not the preview, the raw video was what we did. And let me put it up there on the screen. There we go. And let me start it for us, I think. Here we go. Here we go, folks. Whoops, hold on. Hold on. Boy, I'm having all kinds of trouble here. It's all me, folks, not you. It's all me. Let's try it again. I was sharing the screen. I just muted myself. Okay, let's try it again. Good gracious, Vaughn. Okay. All right, here we go. Here, without further ado, is the wife and I on Saturday night at the new Globe Life Field. And let me pull this up. And let's make sure this is going. And rewind it back. And let's see if it will roll for us. Hold on. There we go. That's the wife and I at Globe Life Field. That was our initial. That was our knee jerks there. And let me give you guys on Friday. I'll give you guys a little bit more of a tour, but that's kind of, well, actually I'll do that real quickly. I'm going to give you guys one more photo that I think is really cool. It's something I've said a lot, and I love the fact that they say this. Baseball time in Texas. I love this thing, and it's something I've always said about Australia. Baseball time in WA. And I'm going to share this one as well. Here we go. Here we go. All right, check this out. This is a cool, I don't know where this came from. I don't know if this is a clock on the side of, and it looks vintage. If you look at it closely, it looks like it came perhaps from the old Arlington Stadium. The edges look a little frayed. I don't know if that's done on purpose and the paint sort of faded on purpose or not. I don't know I don't know. I need to find out more about this clock because that's the old Ranger logo circa 1973. I don't recall that clock being at the old ballpark, the original ballpark, the old Turnpike Stadium. I don't recall that. Doesn't mean it was there, it wasn't there, but I don't recall it. So I don't know. But again, that's a cool. I mean, I love that. I love that. And those light blue. That's kind of their thing. And that's situated on the side of the right field upper deck, but it's over the middle, over the concourse area in center field, really. Which the right field upper deck, which you look up from center field's kind of plaza area, I guess is the best way to describe it. But let me see if I can give you guys another one here, another shot as well here. And give me just a second, take this off the screen. There we go. One more. As I want to get to all these. We went a little long today. Let me give you guys a couple more. This is. I can find it here. I'm looking at my screen. Oh yeah, I mentioned this. I mentioned this to you guys the other day. I don't think I showed this to you, but I mentioned that there is a wing bar located in the ballpark. Right? They have a wing bar. Yeah, a real live wing. You're like, what's a wing bar? Well, Buffalo Wings, right? Uh, there's a company called Pluckers. Really good wings. Our Caroline, she loves it. She loves Pluckers. We love Pluckers. Even as a matter of fact, I believe Joy Mall worked there in high school as a hostess. But there is Pluckers Wing Bar. It's actually that's their sign. That's the upper part of Pluckers. To the right of that is the actual stand. And you walk up some stairs. You can sit there and have some wings from center field and look back over. Right over the that's right below the Rangers Authentics gift shop, and the left side's their shop. But you can Plucker's Wing Bar. Yeah, I'm making you hungry. Well, I'm hungry too, but I'm always hungry. I weigh 800 pounds, so all good. But yeah, I wanted to show you. But yeah, but again, Buffalo wings and baseballs are much better. Besides that, I don't think so. So yeah, sorry about making it worse there. But that is. Let me give you one more shot of the tour of the ballpark here, or a couple more. I got a little bit more time. Let's see. I'm looking. No. Oh yeah, this is what I was telling you about earlier. I don't think I showed you this. I mentioned this on Monday, but this is deceptive, okay? Because it looks like you are way up there. Okay, it looks like you're way up there. And yes, you are technically way up there. But what you've got to remember, and I'm going to show you two parts of this picture. First part is the picture of us, and it looks like you're way, way up there. We are located, as I mentioned, you come in this ballpark, you come on the ground level, you go up a long thing of stairs or escalator, and you're actually one floor above the main ground level. Only problem is you're actually like four floors above because the stadium is dug down into the ground. Well, this is our view from our seats. I showed you these seats the other day. To the left corner is the pub style seats in center field. That below is the Dodgers bullpen in right field. That was the bullpen there. And I want to give you guys a shot to show you by comparison, if I can give you how you walk in. And let me show it to you here. Where is it? Okay. This is what you see when you walk in. So this is the walk-in shot. And I think you'll agree this is a little lower, a lot lower. This is the top row of where you walk in. So you can see, how much higher we were there a moment ago. And you can see this picture here, exactly what I'm talking about. Let me get it to you guys. Here we go. Let me put this on the screen here. And you can see, bring this down. Here we go. It's a little deceptive, but I think you'll see it. Okay, this is walking in the ballpark. You come through the double doors, you walk about 15, 20 yards, and you're still on the ground level. You've not climbed any stairs. You've not climbed anything. You're on the top row of what will be the second deck of the stadium, at which there's a real low, and then you got a middle section, and you got that 200 section, and you're right there on that ground. You're on the ground level, and yet you're looking down where at least the old ballpark, you walked in and you would really walked in, there was only one section down. You've got two, and we were sitting 3 stories up, even though we were only 1 story off the ground. So it's weird. While we're looking out of our seats, we're looking, well, gosh, we're way up here. But you look behind you, you're only 1 story up. And it's kind of bizarre. I don't know if I have anything else that can kind of make that clear. I think there may be one. Hold on, let me get this off the screen here. I think this photo will give you an idea of what I'm talking about, if I can find it. This is where we walked out. We're walking out, and let's see here. Yeah, okay. Here, this is a shot of looking out. This is when we walk up from our seats. We were sitting. This is the actual looking out the glass behind our seats. This is what you would see looking out the glass behind our seats. So you'll get an idea of just how low to the ground it is. I mean, how it's very you're not that high off the ground. This is behind us. Again, that's just one story up, and that's the parking lot. That's the old ballpark there. Let me pull this up on the screen for you. And Greg, there's a little reflection. It's not a great picture, but you can see that's just one story up, and there's the lower. But in the first photo I showed you, this one here, let me pull this down here. This one here, we're like 3-story. Look how high we are there. Okay, we're on row 5. So obviously the top section is even higher, but we're in row 5. We're like look like we're like 4 stories up, but we're only 1 story up. And that, if you look at this one here, let's put this one up on the screen. So that's the deceiving part of the whole ballpark. So anyway, I'll give you guys an idea of what we saw there on last Saturday. Yeah, it was. So anyway, I'll give you some more on Friday. And Talking Baseball Australia Live, we'll give you a little field trip tomorrow as well. Tomorrow, Friday morning in Australia, tomorrow night in North America. That show airs at 7 a.m. in Western Australia, 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time in North America. Baseball's best mate, myself and Paul Morgan, will come your way tomorrow on our Facebook. By the way, our Facebook channel is Talking Baseball Australia. Just go to Talking Baseball Australia. It's our Facebook page. And we hope we'll be debuting our website tomorrow night. If I get to it tomorrow at school. If not, we'll be debuting it next week. Good to see Donna out there too. Everybody else, glad you guys stopped by. If you stopped by on replay, glad you did. Thinking about maybe actually adding this to some Twitter in November and doing a double broadcast at the same time. This is already being broadcast on YouTube as well, so maybe we'll expand our horizons a little bit more. We'll see. But my sister just buttoned down my mom as she was leaving work. How about that? Yeah, well, the old butt dial. There was a day we didn't butt dial anybody. We didn't have the whole thing working for us, did we? There we go. Virtual happy hour will be back on Friday, 5 o'clock. I'll be coming back from another day of school. Actually, I might be a little late on Friday, and maybe 5:30ish, because I got a bit of a nerve thing in my back that's not hurting my walking. It's just it's a range of motion thing that with your back, and it's not a muscle thing, and it's something I'm going to treat on Friday. So I do have to go to the doctor at 3:15. So I'm maybe a little tardy on Friday, but I will do my best to be here a little after 5 o'clock on Friday, and hopefully the back will be feeling just grand on Friday. Much love. Glad you guys stopped by. If it was for 5 minutes for the whole show, if you're watching on a replay, just so thankful for all you. We say it every time. Let's be better tomorrow than we were today. Let's show more love tomorrow than we did today. Hope you're staying warm wherever you are up north, down south. Enjoy the beautiful weather for a few more days. Hope your team wins, and hope things are going well for you. And again, virtual hugs, air hugs. We love them, air hugs. And just a lot of love. Miss all you guys. I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of you in person as things permit down the road. Okay, much love. Love you guys. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you guys on Friday. Have a great rest of your Wednesday and a great Thursday and a great. Where's the broadcast? Oh, hold on. Where are we at here? Hold on. I thought I had the close. I guess I took the close off, but the video close off, the show close. Let's put it back on the screen here. Here we go. So we can have that up there. Let's try it again as he stalls here, folks. Let's go it again. Here we go. Here's the close. All right. We'll see you guys on Friday. Much love. Have a great rest of your night. And the World Series starts in just a bit, and we'll be watching that here in our house. Love you guys, and we'll see y'all then and here on Virtual Happy Hour. And until then, until Friday, see you guys then. Much love.